Alright, thank you guys for taking a look at my video. My name is Darnell Cross, and I'm going to be briefly doing some exploratory data analysis as relates to car insurance on our data frame from the Ohio State Highway Patrol traffic stops. Supposedly, this is every single traffic stop conducted between 2010 and 2017 for the entire state of Ohio. So basically, I have a very simple idea, and my idea was and it really is just an idea that I think has already been in practice in the insurance industry. And a lot of times, basically, when a customer applies to become to get a policy with Nationwide Insurance or some insurance company, we want to evaluate that customer and make a determination on how much they're going to have to pay for their policy, or whether or not we'll be able to accept them at all for that policy, or what have you. So my bright idea is to take a look at locations of drivers and kind of determine whether or not a driver is high, medium, or low risk based on where they are located at, or based on where they work at. Um, so, very simply, and first of all, I want to apologize for the slightly low quality of the text in this video. You will be able to see this text in detail, obviously, on my GitHub, which will be accompanied with this video, the link. Okay, so very first thing we do, and I'm not going to go into detail, we import our dependencies, we import our data set, and we change some details about the data set so that way we can manipulate it a little more easily. And the output of all that is going to be this. So the first thing we want to do is take a look at the size of our data frame. It is 2,200,000 observations or records or traffic stops. There's over 2 million of them for the state of Ohio. Again, that's between 2010 and 2017. And there's 24 columns. The columns are going to be on the left side of this. This is the first observation. This is the first record. The columns are on the left side. So you can see where it says date, and on the right side is the value here. So this was actually January 1st, 2010, and where it says time, that's the hour. That's going to be midnight. The location is at Indian Ripple Road and Tonawanda Trail. Then we've got the latitude and longitude. We've got that it's in Greene County. We've got that it's a black male, and so on and so forth. And we're going to have that data for our entire data set. So the next thing I decided to do was, again, just kind of skipping over the code and just looking at the insights that are derived from it. The first thing, I wanted to take a look at each individual county within the state of Ohio. And for each county in the state of Ohio, about how many traffic stops does that county have total for the entire data frame. And Franklin County, that's you guys in Columbus at the Nationwide headquarters, Franklin County is at the tippity-tip top of that list. And you can see Hamilton County, Warren County, we've got Cuyahoga County, that's going to be your Cleveland area. And then the counties that are going to have the least amount of traffic stops, or the least amount of speeding traffic stops, are going to be these guys down here. So that's Noble County, Coshocton, Darke, Champaign, and so on and so forth. So now we're going to take a visualization of this. And so the first thing I'll do is, this is the county and the number of traffic stops that it has for this data set. So obviously, with such a small amount of speeding traffic stops over a 7-year period, it's just not happening out there. So the people that are located in these counties down here are really going to be low risk people. Even though you can't really say that about their driving necessarily, you can say that people in general in that area aren't doing as much speeding, which is going to reduce their influence on our customer, and vice versa, meaning people in Franklin County are going to be doing a lot more speeding. They're going to be doing a lot more erratic driving, and that will influence negatively all surrounding drivers. So even though you might not actually be a bad driver, you kind of are more likely to engage in bad driving activity, being from the areas with the higher amounts. So our counties, we have 52 counties that I categorized as normal, and we've got 18 that are categorized as low risk and 18 that are categorized as high risk. So if you're, depending on which one you're categorized as, is which ranking of risk that we're going to provide to you or to the customer. So now I created several data frames. I've got a data frame for Franklin County, Hamilton County, Cuyahoga County, Mahoning, and Lorain. And we're going to just be actually looking at just today, just today's date, except for every year from 2010 through 2017 for each of these counties. So on January 20th, from every year cumulatively between 2010 and 2017, cumulatively there are 183 traffic stops just today, again over this time period, for Franklin County. Hamilton County is 129, Cuyahoga County is 74. That's a big deal because Cuyahoga County is the Cleveland area. You would think a nice big crazy place like that would be more than, this is less than half. 74 is less than half of 183. So it's really interesting how Columbus is really lots of speeders, lots of traffic stops out there for that. So okay. Now we're actually going to take a look at what roads specifically are the roads that are getting the most traffic stops today, and what time of day today can we expect the most traffic stops. So if you guys out there in Franklin County are going to get off work today or tomorrow, because it's getting kind of to the end of the day, if you take Interstate 270 and you find yourself going across mile marker 33, that is going to be the portion in Franklin County for today that's going to have the absolute most traffic stops, most likely, based on what we're looking at in this historical data. And the same thing for Interstate 270 at mile 15 and then at mile 30. These are so Interstate 270 is going to be the road with the absolute most stops in Franklin County for that time frame. Now in 2020 it might not be the same, but for the most part it probably will be pretty similar. Now these are the hours per day on the left side and how many traffic stops occur at that hour. So at hour 13, which is 1 o'clock, there were the most traffic stops. At 11 a.m. there were 17, at 10 a.m. there were 13, and at 6 p.m. there were 11 traffic stops. So if you find yourself on Interstate 270 today at 1 o'clock, that's going to be your tippity top most likely chance of being a speeder, being sped by, getting into an accident by somebody else that's speeding, getting into an accident because you're speeding, getting pulled over because you're speeding, and a host of other conclusions and outcomes based on that information. And you can almost kind of say that at 1 o'clock at that road is the most likely road in the entire state of Ohio where you will find people speeding or get pulled over for speeding yourself. And this is a map of the areas for today throughout the 2010 through 2017. So you can see they're really right just here on this road. They're really staying along the roads, along the highways. Occasionally we have some scragglers. They kind of leave the highway to come pick up a couple other folks, but it's not really happening that frequently. So if you find yourself on this circuit right here at all, you probably know, okay, these are where all the police are at, and very specifically that's what you can really expect. So, and lastly, instead of just saying, okay, you live in a certain county, you're probably going to be high risk, you can also say, who lives in proximity or who works in proximity of these roads. What's the likelihood of the fact that they're going to take this road will help also specify in greater detail whether or not a person has high or low risk. So that's all I have for this project. I want to thank you guys for taking a look at my video. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you at Nationwide Insurance, and I'd love to become a part of your team, and I'm confident that I would be an asset because it can get so much more detailed than this, so much more exciting and crazy. So I hope to hear from you guys soon. Thanks a lot.